everybody, including Joe KOVACS, the Olympic silver medalist, and who's beaten crowds on a couple of occasions this year, but it's been slippy, wet, as you can imagine. When they first came out, it was absolutely torrential rain. He got away to a decent start, 20 meters 90 in the first round. Coached by his wife. Really not good conditions, not what everybody would have expected coming here. It's normally such a nice evening here in Switzerland, but we are into September. CROUSER had started, as you can see on that caption there, with a 21.78, but then in the second round really got things going. The big man, of whom so much is expected all of the time, every single competition, and he managed to pick it out there to 22.66, which was an excellent performance in these conditions, early in the competition as well. So CROUSER laying down a massive marker for everybody else. Don't forget, we are operating the final three here. So getting into the top three positions, crucial. Only 5 rounds to do that if you are to then figure in the final three. So for quite a while, KOVACS was in that position, but then this is Payton OTTERDAHL in the 5th round, finding an improvement. He had thrown 21.35 in the 4th round. This one just 3 centimeters further, 21.38 for OTTERDAHL, 5th in the World Championships last year. Very consistent performer, doesn't always get into the top 3. The lift with him today. There's a thing commentators always say, don't they, get in the lift? But when you get in the lift with he's huge. I know a lot of these guys are, but he really is. And then this is FABBRI, Leonardo FABBRI. So Joe KOVACS was desperately trying to get into the top 3, but FABBRI was holding on to a position, and he improved again in the 5th round. And that pretty much shut the American out and others. So KOVACS was 4th, Scott Lincoln 5th, and then FABBRI with that 21.78 would go into the final 3. And the Olympic medalist, Campbell from Jamaica, only managing 2 valid throws. So he didn't make it either. So it's FABBRI, OTTERDAHL, and as expected, Ryan CROUSER, who will get to throw again. About the first 15 rows, Tim, I reckon, I get soaked.
Do feel for them though, because it's been it was rather glorious when we got here yesterday, wasn't it, Steve? There are the first 3 who will go into this 6th and final round. They will throw in the order in which they're positioned at the moment after 5 rounds. So CROUSER, FABBRI, and OTTERDAHL.
Yeah, if you're not too familiar, hopefully you are by now, but it means that the leader goes first. That'll be CROUSER, then the others have a chance to affect things, because if 3rd and 2nd went first and didn't improve, then the leader would have no reason to throw.
Steve, I was chatting to CROUSER a couple of hours ago at the hotel, and over the afternoon snack, and he showed me a video on his phone of an operation he had back in May. It was on the day of the Diamond League in Eugene, and he had a long needle inserted into his elbow, and they injected saline solution under a nerve which had stuck to, sort of adhered to a tendon in his elbow, and had been restricting his throwing for several months. And in the video, you can actually see the nerve pop away from the tendon that it was glued to, and that's what the saline solution was intended to do. And he said he was throwing within a week. It was a little bit gory video, but it was also fascinating at the same time. And he was, yeah, he said things were back to normal a couple of weeks later, and that's why he won US trials with 22.5 meters plus, when back in March, April, people were writing off his season.
Thank you, Dr. Tim. Apologies for anyone who's slightly squeamish, but good explanation there. And you know, one of my favourite quotes of his, I mean, he comes out with, food is part of training.
Food is training?
Food,
I like the sound of that.
Training. Anyway, he's leading tonight, 22.66. You can't really see anybody going beyond that, but can he improve on that? That was his 2nd round performance, the Olympic champion. CROUSER, so dominant. The shot put, very wet circle. Oh, now, he's such a good performer. He loves the crowd as well in Zurich. They've been enjoying it down that bottom end. They're mixing it with the pole vaulters. We'll be seeing them shortly. You can see quite a lot of them are under the cover. Such a tricky evening. 22.36, not quite improving, so 3 throws over 22 meters from the big man. Stays in the lead at 22.66, but all 3 of those, he's got 3 throws, 4 further than anybody else.
Steve, you know what that does? That confirms every one of his throws is better than FABBRI in second place.
I can't add up, yes, exactly.
That is a series and a half. So FABBRI then, well, he was desperately disappointed, the European champion in Rome in front of the home crowd a few weeks back, to finish only in 5th at the Olympic Games in Paris. Silver medalist in Budapest last year. He thought he might push on from that. And that's solid from FABBRI. Wow. 21.78 in round 5. He's warming to the task. He's running out of rounds because that is his best throw yet. But it won't be as good as CROUSER, but it's, well, almost bang on the 22-meter line. That is fabulous, and it takes him further away from OTTERDAHL in 3rd place, of course. 21.86. It is the best of his series. 3 of his efforts over 21 meters, but the 5th round 21.78, 21.86 in round 2.
That's a shame. He nearly dug me out of a hole there, because that was nearly further than one of Brian Krause's, but by a centimetre it's not.
And here is Payton OTTERDAHL. OTTERDAHL in almost any other era would have taken gold medals at major championships, but because he's up against the likes of CROUSER and KOVACS, he was 4th in the Olympic Games. He was 5th in Budapest last year at the World Championships. You have to feel for the fella. 21.38 for him in round 5, his best prior to that effort, and that actually might be an improvement as well. Don't be fooled by the fact that they all look about the same size. These guys are all about 6'5", 6'6". CROUSER is could probably do a pretty good impression of a barn door when he chooses to. OTTERDAHL fouling out actually with that 6th and final round effort. He finishes in 3rd, so no change, but CROUSER just stamping his authority on that competition with that final round 22.36, but his best in round 2, 22.66. Meagre stuff by his own standards.